Good day to you. My name is Gordensimango, and I'm a graduate in the Doctor of Transformational Leadership program with honors at Park Graduate University in the Entrepreneurial Organizational Transformation track. I will be introducing a Leaders Edge Talk series, which I call Transformational Leaders Edge Talk series, and I would like to welcome you and to give you a heads up that this is something coming from me that is coming up. I think many of you know me from varying other fields where our paths could have crossed. It could be in human rights, possibly in diplomacy, humanitarian work, development policy, possibly information and communications. But this specific podcast series will be focusing on leadership and management. Here on this podcast series, I will be introducing new concepts that I have learned, part through my studies, but also part through my experience in the workplace. And so I will be exploring concepts such as Goodwill dissent and Goodwill dissent in management and leadership literature. It is often referred to as constructive workplace dissent, but I intentionally use the term Goodwill dissent because for me, what is constructive and what is not constructive is relative. It often depends on the person that is hearing your advice or the person that you are giving an opinion to. And for me, Goodwill dissent is actually a commandment of love for your organization. And I think it flows from a pure heart. It flows from a clear conscience and a good conscience. And it is a sincere faith in your organization. And it is precisely that you have faith in your organization, that you have the best interests of your organization that you dissent. And this Goodwill dissent is rooted in your loyalty to the organization, to your commitment to the organization itself, and you would deliver it respectively, not necessarily attacking any person or focusing on any person, but really focusing on the issues that will help the organization to move forward. And I think it is a form of corrective feedback, and it helps quite a lot to expose potential flaws, to bring in ideas that the leadership could not have thought about, something they could not have seen, some overlooked risks. And all this is helpful in the decision-making process. And I think such concepts as Goodwill dissent are important because we need, as leaders and managers, to have every part of our organization, every person in the organization, whether we classify them as being in the periphery of the organization. And I think these days we are all familiar of the concept of people being able to invent from the peripheries, and what they invent in the periphery being the core of something that can save or something that can elevate our organization to greater heights. And I think it is important to value each and every person in the organization because ideas can come from anywhere. It's not only people in the upper echelons of the organizations that know things and issues about the organization, but I think any idea can help the organization to move forward. And so as you wait and really look forward to this episode, I would like to say that the other concepts that I will be discussing are one, excellence. And excellence, the concept of excellence that I will be introducing to you is based on my studies, but also on my invention in terms of really how do we look at the successes, how do we look at the excellences in our organization currently, and then how do we grow them to a higher level and really looking at them from what is the higher calling. Yes, we are reaching these excellences today, but what is God calling us higher than where we are today? And really trying to look at that intentionally, and how do we invest and grow those things that we would look at in terms of a higher calling, sort of like looking at the organization possibly 5 years from now or 10 years from now, and beginning to reflect now based on the excellences of the organization now today, and not really looking at who is our competitor and how can we compete with them, because sometimes we just are our own DNA. No matter how much we try to compete with another organization, maybe we won't be able to beat them because we are who we are and we are designed to be who we are. And it's finding who we are and then saying, what are we doing best in who we are? And how can we grow the who we are to a higher calling? And then really looking at the whole issue of transformational leadership, just moving beyond mere transactional oversight to then how do we as leaders and managers lead organizations through transformational breakthroughs. And the whole idea of human flourishing. Are the workers, are the people, are the leaders in our organizations flourishing? And then really looking at how do we design environments where high performance is a natural outcome of purpose, of dignity, and of well-being in our organizations. And then really looking at the value action alignment. And here would be looking at issues to do with, yes, we do have values, but are the values in this organization, in this company, just mere words in the constitution or mere words that we hang on the halls, on our hallways or on the walls? Do our values serve as a filter for strategic decision making in our organizations? And so exploring some of these things is what we will be doing. And I will be inviting some guests who are experts, people who are leaders, to explore these workplace dynamics from the lens of their professional experiences and unique perspectives. We would be asking them to share their own boots on the ground experiences and their lived experiences, how to interpret these challenges of excellence, goodwill, dissent, human flourishing, the value of organizational values in the real world. So if you found this introduction useful and you are looking forward to the series, feel free to like, to comment, to subscribe, and share. I think as you wait for the next episode or the first episode where I would be having a discussion with one of the leaders, and you would like to explore some of these things maybe in advance, feel free to send me an email on excellencehp@yahoo.com, or you can simply use the comments platform on the comment section on this platform. You might also find value in the book that I have written, which is available on Amazon, and it's also available through Westbow Press. And the title of the book is Finding Excellence, a Practical Guide to Fostering Goodwill, Dissent, and Human Flourishing at Work. And in this book, I unpack some of the ideas that we will be exploring and discussing in this episode. Keep an eye for the next episode of the Transformational Leaders Edge Talk series. And I thank you for joining me and for listening to me, and watch out for the next episode. Thank you.